Hey cousins, it's your good cousin Muva Maat here, and I wanted to talk to you guys about New Year's. Something that I know you all, or majority of you, celebrate and has celebrated yesterday, December 31st, going into today, January 1st, 2025. Now, I want to start this off on a good note because a lot of you may disagree with what I have to say. But then again, this may resonate with a lot of my cousins out there. And the good note that we're going to start off with is that I know a lot of you may be feeling yiked up on this energy of invincibility, that you can go and accomplish any of those resolutions that you may have set. If you're still one of my cousins that's out there setting New Year's resolutions, that energy that you feel, that's good. And I wish you nothing, genuinely nothing but the best. I send you so much love, life, and light that you complete, and go after everything that you strive to go after. I hope and pray that your desires really come into fruition this year, and that you do everything you have to do, and that the universe works in your favor to make everything you desire possible. Definitely want that for all my cousins out there. Now, I don't care what you're doing, it's totally possible. You can totally do it, without a doubt. But what I want to say about New Year's is that the construct of this celebration that happens every quote unquote year is not what you think it is. It's not what you think it is. A lot of us looked at New Year's as a rebirth, a fresh start to make things happen in our lives. And 9 times out of 10, good things, the things that we want. Some of you have made resolutions, right? A New Year's resolution. What does the word resolution mean? The word resolution means to resolve something. So you want to resolve issues that you have in your life, that you look at, that may be, an issue or problematic to you. So you set these goals. Resolutions also are goals, to make better change in your life, to change things in your life, to enhance and improve areas in your life that you feel need to be improved. And so you set these goals for yourself, and 9 times out of 10, a lot of my cousins out there, by next year, the end of this year, because we're in 2025 now, allegedly, and I'll get into why I say allegedly and all that further into the video, but by the end of 2025, when we get into quote unquote 2026, you will have most likely not have gotten as far with what you wanted, and you're going to be making that same resolution by the end of this year, by the end of 2025. So what I'm saying, for example, your goal is to lose weight, right? Let's say 2025, your New Year's resolution is to be a more healthier you. You want to lose weight, right? So what happens is that today, right? Starting January, you're super hyped up, you're super enthusiastic, you feel invincible, you feel like, oh, I got this in a bag, and so what do? You go out and, you purchase your gym membership, or you take little steps, you take some type of initiative to make this change, right? And then, so, hey, you're going to the gym in January, you're going hard in February, right? You can be even going hard in March. But boom, April hits. And now you're making excuses. And then now you're in May. And you're not even thinking about the gym anymore. And everything that you started and had that momentum in has pretty much started to decrease. So you went from this high level of energy to a lower level of energy within 3 months. And so that usually happens for a lot of us, a lot of people who celebrate New Year's and make these New Year's resolutions. Okay? This New Year ritual is not what you think it is. And so I'm saying this to say that it is possible for you to lose weight. It is possible for you to do whatever you want to do. But what New Year's does is that it kind of give you this disillusioned belief that you have to make changes on someone else's time. For example, if you want to lose weight and you want it to be effective, you have to start doing things when you feel like it in your heart. You can't wait until, a set day that someone else has made to say, oh, I'm going to do this, right? So think about it. Go back to the trying to lose weight goal or resolution. January, you had that energy that you were going hard, you got your membership, and so now May comes and you haven't been to the gym, you've been back eating the way you've been eating, you're backtracking, right? And that's only 3 months into the new year. And so from that month, realistically, everybody that you told that, that New Year's resolution to, like, oh, I'm losing weight this year, I'm doing this year, because that's that energy we have in January when we love to go around and brag and boast about, and hope that, hey, this year is the year, I'm doing this year, I'm doing that this year, and you done told everybody this, and then by May, everybody, side-eyeing you like, they didn't believe you were going to do it anyway, and you proved them right, and you're proving them right because they know after that, you're not about to go back to the gym. You're not about to do, you're not about to keep it up. And so that's why from May and for the rest of that year, you're going to wait until December again, December 31st, to say, all right, next year is the year to do that same thing, to accomplish that same goal. And so now you're in a cycle of stagnicity, and that is what the new year does. The New Year's keep you in a cycle of stagnicity. Sadly, the new year is not constructed for you to excel and advance. It is not designed for you to grow. That's why, we have this invincible heightened energy for at least the first couple months of the year. And then by the middle of the year, a lot of people's energy dissipates real quick. Because think about the things we've been through in the past couple of years, with all of these pandemics going on and all these, airborne illnesses being released into the world. There's been so much that has been going on that distracts us, that lowers our vibration. And so think about 2025. When we say we're going into a new year, what do we think is possibly about to be so new about this year? If anything, we're walking into a repeated cycle of new bullshit. Excuse my French. It is a new cycle of new nonsense. So I'm making this video so you can be aware of what New Year's is about from here on out. So when you're making these New Year's resolutions, when you're, heightening your energy because, it's a set date that says this is the rebirth, this is the restart of the world, of you, of the year, of whatever. If that does not fully resonate with you, then you do not have to give your energy to it. For example, a lot of people did not want to go party this year. It may have been a ritual for some people to, party every year or do their rituals of cooking a certain dish or, something. And this year, their spirit was not called to do that. Just like with Christmas. And a lot of these pagan holidays, I hate to go there, but we have to, because that's what it is. A lot of people are being called to stop giving their energy to it because it's not serving them. If anything, it's draining them and it's not bringing them any peace. And so with New Year's, a lot of people decided to withdraw their energy this year. Some people just stayed home and kept it simple and kept it cute and did not make a resolution, did not put any energy into this year at all, which is the best thing you can honestly do. Unless you're a really, high vibrational spiritual person and you kind of know what to do during this time of year or during this time period, then, you kind of know what to do. You kind of know what of your own rituals to do and your own energy work to do to kind of protect you from what 2025 is about to put on and bring into this realm. So I know I may be kind of speaking over you guys a little bit if you're not spiritual, but that was just for the spiritual people that know, kind of what to do. And so again, if you did not really participate in New Year's activities this year, you're kind of on that journey because something about your spirit caught on to the fact that this New Year ritual is not serving you. And so now you're kind of opting out. And you may not know why, but your spirit knows that this is not for the better good for anyone. And so a lot of spirits aren't there yet with catching up. But listen, cousin, some of y'all spirits are definitely going to get there sooner or later. Not all of you, but some of you will. And some of my cousins already, your spirit's already catching up, opting out of a lot of these rituals, including Christmas, another ritual. And so I'm kind of going to dive deep, but I'm not going to get too deep because I don't want to make this video long at all. So I just really want to touch on why you honestly should think a little bit more about giving your energy to this New Year ritual. Maybe a lot of other rituals that are titled holidays, and kind of retreat a little bit and pay a little more attention, question, these rituals that are titled as holidays, and see what your spirit really feels like when you think about it or talk about it. Like, for example, I know there are some of my cousins out there who may kind of know, okay, reality will be very dull if I don't celebrate, any type of holidays, because that's what makes these things fun. I get that. Like, I know a lot of people with Christmas, they want to keep, Santa alive and the hope alive with their children and with themselves, even though, they know certain things about Christmas and, Santa Claus and all that. Some people may know the origins of the Christmas story and the origins of the Christmas ritual and holiday, but yet they choose to cling to the joyous side of it because that's what they grew up, they grew up with Christmas in their household. So they kind of want to keep that ritual because it makes them feel good, and they want to just keep that vibe. And so the thing about that though is that if you know the true origins, you would not give your energy to it at all. But some people still decide to. Now, I'm not saying anything is wrong with that. If that's what you want to do, if that's what floats your boat, you go right ahead. But I just desire to help raise some type of awareness for those that may not be aware that these rituals do not serve you on a scale that you think. Okay, so if you're conscious about these ritualistic quote unquote holidays and stuff like that, and you choose to still participate with minimal energy, and you don't really care and stuff like that because the game, that's different, and that's not necessarily bad. That's not because there's some people who hey, they have a Christmas spirit, but their Christmas spirit isn't going and buying decorations or putting up trees and stuff like that. They don't mind probably walking around with their their peoples, or spending time with loved ones. Like, that's not a crime. That's not bad. I'm not saying don't enjoy yourself during these times, but what I'm saying is don't overgive your energy to something you don't know why you're doing it. Like with New Year's or with Christmas, like you're putting up a tree, you're doing all of this. Like, who told you to do that? All right. Now you say this person told you to do that, or I've seen my family do this, but why? And then they're going to hit you with like some biblical text and some biblical knowledge. And then if your spirit is really feeling bold, you would even say, but why to that too. And so I know a lot of my cousins don't like to really go that deep with things. And so that's why I took the initiative to go deep for y'all. So I went deep into the New Year's thing, and my spirit this year did not align with New Year's, and it hasn't aligned with this New Year ritual for years now. But last year for myself, I wasn't as detached as I was today. And so, I've been fasting for the past couple days, and so my fast kind of fell into New Year's. I did not go out and participate. I did not give my energy to this New Year's ritual. What I did was receive downloads, and so that's why I'm having this conversation with you all, to share a little bit of what I received during my fasting and meditation during this period and during this event. And so that was simply that those goals and resolutions that you're setting going into 2025 are 9 times out of 10 not going to come into fruition the way you think that they are with this heightened energy you have. Like, this heightened energy that you have is kind of like adrenaline. It's kind of like a kid when they eat candy. Like, right after they eat, a piece of candy or something sweet, how they just, jet off, and their energy is just so all over the place. And then after a couple hours or so, they just crash. That's kind of what this New Year's ritual does. And like, again, I'm not being negative or discouraging and saying that what you got planned or what you got going for 2025 is not going to take off for you. It's just that you guys know what I mean. Like, you've probably been setting the same New Year's resolution every year. Like, this year I'm going to do this. No, this year's the year. No, this year's that year. This year is that year. It does not have to be that way. Last year could have been your year. And the year before that could have been your year. But when you're waiting every December 31st to really put some type of energy into saying, oh no, this is the year, that is non-progressive. That's like very detrimental to your momentum. 2025 is just a number. And so when we talk about holidays and, you know, these rituals, we're talking about paganism, okay? And so I'm just going to get straight to the core, the nitty gritty of what paganism is and what's really happening. I'm not about to do too much. You can always do your research. I highly advise you to do your research with what I'm about to say. And this is probably a trigger warning for my cousins out there. You know, I may throw you off with your beliefs or whatever you may feel about these holidays and your attachments to them, but you are not being served righteously with any of these holidays. They don't serve you, all right? They're not for your greater good. They're actually to bring you down, and they're actually set up for you to fail. Every single last holiday, okay? But we're focusing on New Year's, and I'm going to talk a little bit about Christmas, because Christmas is the quote-unquote ritual holiday that comes right before New Year's. And so who you're really celebrating when you're celebrating Christmas is Satan. You may not believe in Satan. You may not believe me. You don't have to. I am not here to reform anybody, or I'm not here to change your mind or change your beliefs. I'm just here to be heard. I'm just here to be heard. But if your spirit resonates with the things that I'm saying, then you're my tribe. You're my person. And you're the cousin that has been gravitated here by divine reasons. And so I must give you what your soul requires. Because when you're giving all your energy to these rituals that you don't even know anything about. You have no idea about these rituals. You know, someone tells you, oh, you know, December 31st is a new year, and it's, you know, a new everything. It's a new rebirth. It's a new this, it's new that. And you go ahead and tailgate and tag along and say, okay, bet. And you put all your energy into that without asking any questions. Then you have fun in this third dimension. Like you're attached to this third dimension. But for my cousins out there who resonate with me, you're not attached to this third dimension. Your soul and your spirit is more attached to something that is more righteous and more positive, more high vibrational, and more, what we like to say, godly in a sense. Which we just mean is good. So this has nothing to do with Allah, has nothing to do with God, you know, it has nothing to do with any type of religious aspect. We're just talking about good and not good. We all know better. We all know, honestly, the difference between good and bad. And so when you think about New Year's itself, it's a time when people do what? They usually drink, being with family, drinking, partying, drinking. Okay, so there's no righteousness in it. There's nothing new about December 31st and January 1st. It ain't like you ain't been drinking last year. It ain't like you ain't been drinking a year before. You know, drinking is nothing new to you. And so when we talk about a new year, think about it. Like, what new is actually about to be taking place 2025? Think about what new took place in 2024. I know we were introduced to a lot of new BS. There was nothing good that was new that was happening in 2024. And I mean for the greater good of all. Because the New Year ritual is a worldly celebration. Okay, all over the world. My bad, not all over the world, but all over the
Well, a little bit all over the world. Yeah, all over the world, because some countries don't necessarily celebrate New Year's, but then there are a lot of countries who have been shooting fireworks, as you may have seen, like Singapore and um, other places. They have been lighting their fireworks off. London, and so this ritual is a detriment to everyone that celebrates, because these people are going out into the world thinking that, all right, December 31st, January 1st is a time period of change, when that is false. That is not true. How is that not true? One, what they did to confuse you, right? Because they don't want you to find truth in this time period, right? Why they don't want you to find truth is because December 31st and January 1st and December 25th, they want to entangle you with the Bible. All right? They love to throw the Bible out there and throw some religious texts at you. When I know probably 90% of my cousins that's listening right now have not read the Bible. Some of you may have, but 90% of you may not have read the Bible. And so that is another reason they like to keep you confused. And they can use that against you and keep you in confusion with religious texts. Now, my cousins that have read the Bible will probably know a little bit better about engaging in these rituals. And so some of my cousins that read the Bible as well, may try to use these religious texts to support celebrating these rituals. So it could go either way. But in a spiritual sense, on a spiritual level, December 25th, December 31st, and January 1st are all satanic celebrations. They're all celebrating Satan. All you have to do is learn the origins of the story of Christmas, the origins of the story of New Year's, and you will know that these rituals have no good setup behind them. And I know a lot of you may not be ready to hear that, just like a lot of kids don't want to hear Santa isn't real, but think about that as well. Kids don't know diddly squat about none of this until we implement it to them, until we go ahead and scar it in their minds about a Santa Claus, about this, about that, about whatever, the Easter Bunny, whoever else. And so we're really pushing our kids, and we have been pushed to celebrate Satan. Santa and Satan, don't they sound kind of synonymous? They sound very synonymous. Okay, so the origin story, there's a deity named Pan who comes up in just about all of these stories, these holiday stories. Why why are we giving our energy or celebrating this, this holiday or this day or that day or whatever day? Why? And so there are deities and spirits that are subliminal to all of these celebrations that you know nothing about. So, for example, that's like if someone invites you to a party, right? Hey, let's use the quote unquote Diddy parties, for example. Just because that's your newest distraction right now. That's the trending topic right now. So let's just use that for example. Let's say, you're trying to be an artist, or you're an artist and you got invited to a party. And let me not use the Diddy party, because it could be anybody's party, right? I don't want to keep giving energy to that situation because it's just a distraction. You get invited to any party, anybody's party. And you never got a bad vibe from this person. You think this person is so cool, whatever. So you're thinking their party's about to be lit, right? Oh, this so-and-so, her parties be bumping, they be cool. I definitely want to go. But you've never been to any of her parties. You just heard that her parties be, and you've probably seen a few of her parties. So you're like, oh yeah, I'm going to this party. And so you get to that party and, everything's going good until it isn't, right? There's a darker side to that party that caught you off guard. And so, but what you realize is that, somebody come out and say, oh, but since you already partied and you gave your energy, you was in there having a blast, you was drinking, you're a part of what's about to happen because you already been partying, right? So what I'm saying is that you did not know that you were you didn't know what you was getting yourself into. That's pretty much what these ritual holidays, these cycles have been doing. And so 2025 is just another completed cycle. That's why they celebrate. And when I say they, I'm talking about the people who constructed the cycles to keep you stagnant. They know that you're not about to go do nothing great. And so they're happy about that. And you may think this is like, oh, what are you talking about? Like, you're sounding negative. No, it's true. The celebration of 2025 is a celebration of how they're grateful and happy that a lot of my cousins out there are still vibrating low. You're still sad. You're still depressed. You're still hung up on the past. They are eating that up. Why? Because they designed it for you to do that. 2024, what has been starting to happen? What's been happening with the food? What's been happening with housing? What's been happening all around you? Not nothing new and high vibrational, because inflation is nothing new. It's not new. Nothing that usually happens and things that have been happening has never been new. Some things may be just introduced to you, but doesn't mean it hasn't been happening decades ago, centuries ago. So that's why being knowledgeable about what's going on is very important. And when I mean what's going on, I mean under the surfaces, right? Like, say you're at that party, and instead of getting so lost in the music and getting so lost in the lights and, oh, that pretty girl over there, or that handsome guy over there, instead of getting so lost in that, actually being at a party and watching and listening. And then when you're really present and you're seeing, everybody's movement, how people are dancing. And once you really look, you might see something, right, that automatically could have given you some type of idea that this party was going to take a turn. And so you could have followed that hint, and then, you could have got out before you knew you needed to get out, right? You could have been observing and said, oh, wait, why is that like that? Or why does it, hold on, wait a minute. And then you could put two and two together, and then you can be like, oh no, wait, you can maybe ask somebody a question, or you probably can, branch off and go around the house and observe. And you know what I mean? You can do a lot if you just kind of be a little bit more present and not just caught up in what you're being told that you have to do. December 31st, you do not have to be like, oh, I'm going to stop doing everything that I used to do. Like, December 31st is the day I lose weight. December 31st is the day I throw it all, throw everything behind me. December 31st is the day I cut, cigarettes out of my life. Or December 31st is the day I stop smoking weed. Do you feel that conviction in your heart? Do you feel that in your heart? Or do you feel like because it's December 31st and it's a quote unquote new year, that's the perfect time to do it? Are you doing it for you? Are you doing it for the day? Are you doing it for that time period? And that's what makes the difference about everything you want to do in life. You want to start that business. You want to do this and do that. Don't just do it because of December 31st, January 1st, New Year, because that's not the truth behind this new year. Ritual. That is not the truth, okay? rebirth, that whole rebirth energy starts during the spring. Okay, again, they get you caught up with these religious texts, and I know they like to throw, Jesus in there and say, some of us are even out here confused about that story anyway. Some of us call it, Jesus' birthday. Some of them saying it's the day he died. People out here got so many different stories. On why the day is even given energy to anyway. When you can be keeping your energy to yourself, focusing on you and doing what you got to do, right? December 25th, you can be saving a lot of coins. Now, what's happening is that you're being drawn in by the satanic energy to deplete yourself and deplete your energy and give it all to low vibrational things. Like I said, December 25th, you could have saved some coins, which means that if somebody didn't tell you that God died on Christmas, or God was born, or Jesus was born, or Jesus died on Christmas, or something happened with Jesus on Christmas, you would not feel obligated to go out here and spend all this money for the people you love, when you can spend a lot of money on people you love any old regular day. So you have to think about the energy that goes into this ritual. Now, again, 2025 is a lie about, the New Year ritual is a lie about new beginnings, January 1st, because the earth revolves around nature. Whether you believe it or not, the research is out there. The earth cycle revolves around nature. And so you have how many seasons? You have 4 seasons. We operate in 4 seasons. Nature operates in 4 seasons. What is the name of that hotel? The luxury hotel? The 4 seasons. There's spring, summer, winter, and fall. Spring is your March, April, and your Mays. That is the new beginnings. That's when the nature is doing what? Nature is blooming. Nature is beginning to bloom. And then you have summer, where everybody's in full bloom, right? Everybody outside. Spring is when everything's starting to come outside, right? Think about it like us. Springtime, we just recovering from winter, so we kind of like, getting a little warmer. Let me go out there, test the waters. Let me go out here and be risque with my outfits. Let me get, ditch the sweatpants and bring out some dresses, bring out some skirts, bring out, a little bit more warmer weather. This summer, we all outside. We outside half naked. We outside, we chilling. We catching that big breeze, getting all that sun. Now we get into fall. What's happening? We about to go back inside. We preparing to go back inside, just like nature. All right, the plants, everybody's, wrapping up that summer session, all that fun we had, and we covering up a little bit, throwing on a little jacket over top of that crop top, putting some little linen pants on now. We ain't got to fully get into sweats at this point. And so now after fall, we go into winter. It's back to the sweats. It's back to hiding all our body. It's back to being bundled up under the covers. It's back to being hibernating like a bear. Because I know that's me in the winter. Do not like winter. Definitely in hibernation mode. Don't call me to come out. I ain't going nowhere. I don't care if we're going to be inside. I am not trying to be inside in a heated apartment, in a heated place with all these people. Like, I'm just not trying to do it. So, those are our 4 cycles that we operate in. That nature operates in. So again, spring, March, April, May. Was it spring? Summer is what? From after May, you got June, July, and usually August. And then fall, you get September, October. And then December, the winter, you get November, December, January, and February, because it definitely be cold in January and February. So New Year's falls in the winter time, in December, the last month of the quote unquote year. Nothing's growing in that season. If anything, that's the time where everybody's saying bye bye. Everybody's transitioning to go back inside. Everybody's transitioning. Some people like winter. Okay, you like layering up. But at the end of the day, nothing's growing in the winter according to nature's schedule. Those are the times where you start preserving your harvest. Those are the times where you start doing this. Some people plant seeds in December, but that's not the time where it's about to grow. That's not the time where people popping out. That's not the time where the plants are popping out. That's not the time when the animals are popping out. That is not a pop out time. So there's nothing new happening. There is no rebirth. There's nothing being born. There's nothing new going on. If anything, that is when all the old is decaying. Everything is decaying. Everything is going away, getting rid of. So it will really be more of a time of what people want to call death. Right? It's more of a dead month. Think about, a lot of people are more sad during this month, during this season. I don't know many people that be like, yay, winter is coming. Even though some people love winter, there are equal amounts of people who despise winter. Just because it's so cold and because there's really nothing going on in the cold. That's why we try to find things to do in the cold. See, the winter, you don't really have to stress. In the summer, you don't have to stress and fret about things going on, because it's just simple. Hey, it's hot, it's been super hot lately, but still, is we outside, at least if we could be in the shade, we cooling, being outside in the summertime is a better flex than trying to find something to do in the winter without worrying about snow and ice and all the extras that the winter brings. Right? Things are freezing so much where you can't do anything. Pipes are getting frozen. There's a lot more detriment that comes in the wintertime than in the summertime. Now, I know the heat is not fun for a lot of people, but there's ways to work around the heat. There are ways to work around the heat. And again, some people stay home, but stay inside if it's too hot. But again, mind you, if it's too hot and you're inside, that's not really much, your pipes aren't getting frozen. Nothing's extras happening. But the winter, December, is not nature's time of new beginnings. It's America's time for new beginnings. It's the third dimension's times for new beginnings. It is not the time of new beginnings for real, for real. So once you become aware of that, you know how to reconstruct your energy. A lot of people don't even feel drawn to really make a major change in their lives on December 31st. But because, again, this New Year ritual is a pressure, and what's happened is that it's been happening for so long, it's now kind of a conditioned programming to you. It's like all you kind of know. Just like with Christmas. Now, talking a little bit about Christmas. Christmas kicks off New Year's. And it kicks off your stagnicity, and it kicks off your depression and your anxiety, and it traps you there. So that when you go into 2025 or whatever New Year's to come, you have celebrated your stagnicity. You don't know this, but you have celebrated being trapped. And so that's why that same cycle is going to happen for you, because you told the universe, you told the multiverse, that's what you are happy with. So we go into Christmas, right? And I told you that you're celebrating Satan, right? And you celebrated Satan by putting up your tree and, doing the Christmas shopping and, putting all your energy into capitalism on this certain day. On this certain day, you give so much energy to the capitalism system, the capitalistic construct. You give more energy to this construct than any other day. And we do it in high volumes. That's a ritual. Okay, that's an energy harvest. So that's how you give all your energy to Satan. And whatever you give your energy to comes alive. It comes alive tenfold. It comes into fruition, and it sticks and it stays. And that's why they want you to celebrate a couple days after that, so that you have sealed in the ritual. You completed the ritual. All right? Now, it's already bad enough leading up to December. Every month has a ritual holiday that goes ahead and do the same thing, drain you, make you sad, depressed, or whatever the case. And then December 25th seals, it gets closer to sealing that low vibrational, depressed, wicked energy that you have had for the past all those months. And now you're going to complete the ritual on December 31st by saying you loved everything you went through 2024 or in those past months. And so after you give all your energy to Satan on December 25th, you go December 31st and you watch fireworks, you celebrate, you go to parties, you drink, and you count down, right? That countdown is about to seal the ritual, so that in 2025, everything that you're praying for, everything that you think is going to come into fruition that may help your life for the greater good and may better you, is a slap in the face. And they laugh because they know that when that countdown reaches 1, you're back in the same cycle that you think you are getting out of. And if anything, you're deeper into it. You're deeper into the low vibrational cycle. So, for example, going back to the losing weight example, if I say I'm going to lose weight December 31st, January 1st I go hard, January 2nd I go hard, January I go hard, February I go hard, April I go hard, May I lose momentum, June I lose momentum, July everything's lost, I'm back eating the same way. And then December 31st, here I am again saying, oh, I'm going to lose weight this December 31st. You just watch. And then January come, I got momentum. February come, I got momentum. March comes, I got momentum. April come, momentum is shot. And then from the rest on, momentum is shot. And then the following ritual, I'm saying the same thing. And then the following ritual, I'm saying the same thing. And it's been working out for a lot of my cousins out there that way. And then you wonder, why are my goals not coming into fruition? Because it has a lot to do with you giving your energy to this low vibrational celebration. Some people don't even set these goals anymore around this time. Some goals have been set way before this time comes, and some people ignore the ritual, or they use the ritual to enhance the manifestations and goals that they've already set before this time came. So when December 31st come, if they want to give energy to it or not, they don't really have to, because they know that I'm not even paying attention to this. I'm going to go hard whether it's a rebirth or whether it's something new happening or not. And so when they're locked in before December 31st, they're not phased by December 31st. So that energy that they had before December 31st, it carries through with them into 2025. So that's why it's possible for things to happen for them, because they did not allow their energy to be taken and drained and captured by the ritual of 2025. See, that's all this new year is about going into another dead cycle. Because we already see 2025 who our president is. I don't care if you like this man or don't like this man. Is his policies going to affect you positively, or are they going to affect you negatively? You will not know that until we start to experience 2025. Whoever put out the call for, the pandemic last year, or whatever illborn illness was out last year, there's definitely been talk about a new one coming in 2025. But still, that's not new. That's old. Is that about to affect the citizens of this country positively or negatively? And who else knows what's up the sleeves of these people that created this construct? So they're getting you all gassed up about a 2025 and a new start and a new this and a new that, when you're about to be regurgitated the old same nonsense in an old cycle. There's nothing new about this cycle. There's nothing new about this cycle. Okay, we're operating on a whole lot of old shit, honestly. Excuse my French. Old calendars, old ways of doing things, old mindsets, old beliefs. Okay? This Gregorian calendar, we're still in Rome. This country has a Romanian mindset. Look up the Roman times, the Roman periods, and the Roman celebrations. Roman deities, Roman gods and goddesses. There's nothing new. But it may be new to you when you find out what's really happening. And so if you set goals based off of your heart, if you're setting resolutions based off your heart, then that's one thing, and that's better, and that's going to help you excel more than just trying to use this new year energy to launch you into a better frequency, better energy, a better way of living, a better way of life. It's not going to help you. Or this new year energy is not going to help you, because New Year's in the American sense is not about anything positive at all. You're celebrating Satan on Christmas. You're celebrating Satan on December 31st. You're celebrating Satan January 1st. Okay? Now, right now, January 1st, the 1st, okay? You are now in a portal. And I'm trying to say this as clear as I can. I've not been trying to go so hard, but I definitely have been just trying to just be heard, okay? Just be heard. And if it resonates with your spirit, just let it flow. Let your spirit take it in. It's okay if you don't understand it right now. It's okay if you don't really get what I'm saying right now. But if, you made it this far, your spirit has definitely latched on. And it will definitely help you further on. This message will definitely help you further along in 2025. So that you don't find yourself being one of those individuals who are yiked up right now, and then come a couple months You back to that depressed state. You back to feeling inadequate. You back to feeling like a failure, and it don't have to be that way, because you could really be that much closer to your goals and your dreams and excelling than you think. But because this ritual has got you, you have no choice but to start thinking the worst when your breakthrough can literally be up the street. It could literally be next door. But what this ritual has done to you and continues to do to you is make you feel like it's never going to happen, and that it won't happen, and that it's not possible for it to happen, and that you're not deserving of it, and you're not worthy. So you have to detach yourself from this ritual. Again, a lot of people set goals after the new year, right? Some people set goals way before the new year. Like someone like myself. I did not wait for December 31st to say this or to say that, or I'm going to do this. This is going to be different. I stopped doing that a long time ago, because I found myself, December 31st come, I'm writing out this list. I'm thinking about this. I'm thinking about changing that. And then that next December 31st hit, the end of that year hit, and I find that I ain't did nothing for real. Or I haven't done as much as I wanted to do. And now I'm feeling discouraged. And so now that energy, I'm putting it into the next, that year. And it's the same stuff. And so I caught on. My spirit caught on. And watching this video, your spirit caught on too. Your spirit's catching on too. And your spirit will catch on when you're listening to stuff like this. And you're giving your energy to information like this, because your spirit wants to excel. But the New Year's ritual is a way to capture you. It really does. It captures your mind, it captures your soul and your spirit to keep you stagnant. Now you can think I'm lying if you want to, but you tell me, how come you making the same New Year's resolution every year? Ain't it about time to try something different? It's definitely about time to try something different, because if you're waiting for December 31st to implement change in your life, that's a long time. You're wasting 11 months when things can be shaken for you if you just trust in yourself and not trust in the energy of December 31st and January 1st. But going back to this portal, and I'm wrapping it up with this last bit about the 1-1 portal that is open today, and that will be open for a while, that you can use to take advantage of catapulting your goals and your resolutions that you set. All right, so December 31st and the 1st and December 25th, everything that New Year's is set up to do aligns on very powerful days of the year. Very powerful days. And so those days, in short, because I'm not going to go into the solstice or any of those things, that's for another video. In short, these powerful days have a lot to do with manifestation and your goals and your dreams and you. Okay, it has a lot to do with you. Now, you can't see that because you run to a party, or you run to get drunk, or you run to get high, or you run to go watch the ball drop, or you run to go give your energy and attention to all of this third dimension distractions, all this third dimension nonsense, instead of focusing on you during these time periods. Now, it may not be easy to detach from the distractions, but when your soul catches on, it is easy. you have no interest anymore to go to a Christmas party, to go to a New Year's Eve party or a New Year's party. You have no desire to watch the ball drop. You have no desire to do any of the things that you were doing before anymore. And then that's when you can start paying attention and catching on and saying, oh my goodness, instead of, going to this party that is so redundant now, I'm going to focus on me and focus on, what I want to do. And so when I could do that and realize that, okay, when January comes, I'm not so caught up on this being a new year. I'm just more caught up on what I want for myself. I could care less about what number they say, what year we're in. I could care less about what month this is. I could care less about all of that. All I care about is losing that weight. All I care about is kicking that habit, cutting down my vices, getting rid of my vices. That's all I care about. Getting closer to my family, getting, the things that are important to me. I can focus on those things way more. I can intensify my focus way more if I cut out all of the low vibrational distractions. I got drunk last New Year's. I got drunk the New Year's before that. Every New Year's I'm getting drunk. Maybe this New Year's I don't get drunk. Maybe this New Year's I don't got to kiss nobody and feel okay about it. Maybe this New Year's, I can make some changes and focus on me. Some people be so pressed about a kiss on New Year's, and it's just like, wait, why? Like, I just got to kiss somebody. Like, why? Like, what? Like, why? Like, why do you have to just kiss somebody? And then some people don't even care who it is. Like, they just got to kiss anything, Like, why? What kind of spirit is functioning inside of you that makes you believe that? And so that's what you have to pay attention to. And so this 1-1 portal is an amplification of whatever you want to do, whatever you want to accomplish as you continue to go about the cycle. Now, if you just got finished celebrating Christmas, which is Satan, and now you're celebrating Satan again a couple days later, when you hit this 1-1 portal, you're amplifying everything you just gave to Satan. When you celebrate Christmas, for example, a lot of people go broke on Christmas. That's nothing new. A lot of people bite off more than they can chew during Christmas. A lot of people go into debt in Christmas. Christmas is a very depressing time. A lot of people have lost loved ones. It's just really not the, jolly time of the year that people really, this society has amped it up to be for a lot of people. And so a lot of facades are created during this time. Now, say you're one of those people who went broke. And even if you didn't go broke, say you didn't have it this year to, go splurge the way you may have had it any other years. Or maybe you never had it like that to go splurge, or whatever the case. Your energy usually gets a little weary around this time. You're a little, anxious around this time. It's so many low vibrational frequencies around you at this time, but you go and you partake in these rituals anyway. So you're still telling Satan, right? Even though I can't afford to party with you, I still want to party with you. I still want to, I'm going to keep giving you my energy regardless. And then you go into the new year to be like, okay, well, I know I was trying to ball out this year, but this year coming up, I'm going to, be different. I'm going to do this differently. I'm not going to do that. And so now you're telling Satan, hey, I want to change. But that's what you're saying out of your mouth. But your energy and everything else that's going into these low vibrational rituals, you're at a whole ritual when you watching all this stuff. You're at a ritual when you're partying. You're at a ritual when you're watching fireworks. And so just because you're thinking one way, like again, when we talked about you don't know what you're getting yourself into, you don't know that you are innocently partaking in something very much more spiritually advanced than you can fathom. Than your spirit can fathom right now. So if you are resonating with what I'm talking about right now, your spirit is definitely ready to get out of all of this. And it will. It most certainly will. So you are at these rituals and you're telling, the universe one thing, but your actions are portraying another thing. So when you hit the 111 portal, I'm sorry, you have now solidified to the universe that you are thankful for where you are at that moment. You're thankful for the partying, even though you may not want to party that much no more. But you're telling them, you're telling the universe you're thankful for whatever that year prior had to bring, and you want more of it in this cycle. So if you experience a lot of depression, a lot of anxiety, a lot of negativity in that cycle, you have solidified to Satan that you are grateful and thankful for all that you experienced in 2024. Now you are ready to experience that same energy in 2025. And the trick starts at the beginning of the quote unquote year. Because you feel so like, oh yeah, New Year's is, it's like that. And you keep making these same resolutions at New Year's because that peak of the celebration, the peak of the ritual kicks off January, and you got that energy. You got that false energy. That coffee crash, that sugar rush, like right at the beginning, it's that, oh yeah, I'm invincible, I got this, I'm gonna do this. You done told everybody, and then 3 months in, man, you making all the excuses in the world on why it's okay to be overweight, why it's okay to be smoking, why it's okay to be drinking. Because your energy dissipated because it was never there in the first place. It was a trick. And in 2025, inflation starts to do what it does, and another airborne illness hits society, and then now you low vibrating versus the person who broke free from the ritual and they have their tunnel vision set. So it doesn't matter what's starting to happen. They don't see it. They don't care because they locked in on them, and they're locked in on their goal, and they're locked in on everything. Because in order for your spirit to resonate with what I'm saying, in order for you to have that type of tunnel vision and that type of discipline, your spirit got to be on a whole nother level. And how do you get your spirit on a whole nother level? Is by simply taking heed to information like what I'm telling you. This 1-1 portal today can be used for high vibrational manifestations and goal setting. Somebody who has set a goal before New Year's, this is going to help catapult them throughout 2025. That's how people become successful. Because when all of the portals start to open, right? New Year's is a portal as well, but it's not a good portal. And so when 2025 starts to take its course and run its course, those that have been goal setting before 2025, those that have been goal setting in 2024, 2023, and they've been serious, this type of energy today helps to catapult that. And so they pretty much don't even notice that we went through a pandemic. They don't notice that we went through this. They don't notice what airborne illnesses set loose in the, they don't notice people lining up to, take this and take that and get this and get that. They don't see none of that. And someone like myself who vibrates a lot higher, when this country experienced that whole pandemic thing, I'm not gonna hold you. It's just to be like very transparent with my cousins out there. I didn't see none of this. It flew by for me. Like when people were the energy people were sharing, like some of my cousins out there, and I'm so sorry. My heart go out to y'all that y'all experienced this, and I hope you don't experience it anymore. If something ever was to happen like that again, that y'all were going through it. There were people that were really depressed and, at their lowest and just wanted to end it all and just, couldn't deal with, being locked up, like being, inside so long, or being, alone or whatever. Like, you couldn't deal. But me, I was doing just fine. Like, I was doing so fine that I didn't notice. And when I say fine, I'm not talking about materialistically. I'm talking about mentally and spiritually, because that's all that matters at the end of the day. And a lot of my cousins were mentally and spiritually going through it during those times. So if those times were to repeat themselves, which they usually do, how are you going to be able to deal with it? And I know I wasn't the only one who was so unfazed and not affected by the events that happened a couple years prior. So 2025 come, you got all these goals set, you have all these, resolutions set, and then something throws off the economy or this starts to happen. You're the first one to be up in a panic. You're the first one to flare. Everything you wanted for yourself has gone out the window, because now you've given so much energy to back to third dimensional distractions. And so, saying that, my cousins out there, just pay more attention about what you're celebrating. Okay? Everything has an underlining message to it, a subliminal message to it. Everything in life, because everything is energy. From this computer or phone that you watching or listening to me through, from the things you see on the screen, from the energy that you get from when you watch this type of stuff or you watch anything, it all has a subliminal message. And it's either going to be to elevate you or to destroy you. And so whatever you're going to give your energy to, I just highly advise you to choose wisely. Because when they say we got free choice out here, that is about as free as you can get in decision making, when you're actually paying attention and you actually care. And when I mean care, I mean about yourself. So if you want to really accomplish your goals, then you have to raise your awareness. That will help you so much. Raising your awareness is just being present. Questioning things a lot more. Don't be that person that say, I don't want to ask too many questions because Ask those questions. Be curious and have that mind of a child when they ask questions. Because if you don't, you will continue to be where you are. Especially if you're not happy where you are. And I love you all very, very much. I truly, truly hope that 2025 is filled with nothing but high vibrational, positive, loving, compassionate energy. I pray and hope and desire that this is your winning season, and that you get everything you deserve, and that a lot and all of what you desire and want to come into fruition. Because I know you deserve it. But do you know that you deserve it? Melanated Without Apology vibes activated.